Alright, y'all. Transitioning update time, I guess. I just passed the 7 month mark on hormones, which is weird because I only think about being on hormones for 7 months and it feels like so much longer. I mean, Corona has made time all weird and strange, anyways, but it feels like it's been a year or more already. But it's been 7 months. First off, to anyone considering transitioning, I recommend a therapist. Get you a good therapist and just settle in for the long haul. Go in and do some work on healing yourself of your past traumas while inching your way towards transitioning. And actually, even if you're not transitioning, go see a therapist or mental health provider. Go for a checkup, go to vent, go to learn how to express your emotions in a more healthy way. As I say in acting, there's no bad way of doing things, there's just a more effective way of doing things. Men, just go. Go to learn more about yourself and how to be more vulnerable or how to handle getting a hangnail. Women, go. Learn about the coping skills that you learned in the past that aren't serving you anymore or why jelly beans are God's gift to man or women. Everyone, just go get a therapist. I went to Positive Impact for many, many years. I think 8. Yeah, 8, yes. And they have several locations around Metro Atlanta. And quick little plug in here, they will also be taking part in an interactive theater experience. So, Out of Hand Theater and Positive Impact Health Centers are collaborating with the CDC's Let's Stop HIV Together initiative to pilot an interactive theater experience to reduce HIV stigma. They are also looking for Black, Latina, and LGBTQIA+ young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 to participate. So, it's going to be a dress rehearsal that'll be held on Tuesday, July 7th from 3 to 5 p.m., and then also on Wednesday, July 15th from 2 to 4 p.m. And one of my friends, dear, dear friends, Jose Francisco Rodriguez Lopez, will be one of the members helping with the workshop. Hopefully, I did that name honor and justice, and if not, then you're gonna have to hit me or something. Don't hit me. You're just gonna have to look disapprovingly at me. There we go. I love you, Jose, and I cannot wait to watch. But back to the transitioning. Amid the existential crisis that seems to be the pandemic unfolding into my professional life, I have also been experiencing joy. So, I've talked a bit about dysphoria a few times, and look, in the last video, I also said dysmorphia, and I used it in the wrong context because I meant dysphoria, and this is why I'm not a licensed mental health professional, just an enthusiastic advocate. But, anyways, I've mentioned dysphoria before a few times, and how it's reared its ugly head. And dysphoria, in case you don't know, it's a state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. Now, that's just dysphoria in general. We're talking about moods and all that other stuff. Gender dysphoria involves a conflict between a person's physical gender and the gender with which he or she identifies. But gender euphoria, now, this is what does not get mentioned as often, but it's the fun side of transitioning and self-actualizations. So, there are a couple of online groups I'm in, and I love going in there and I get to see people celebrating milestones, bits and pieces of their life that bring them joy, the mile markers that they're making, whether it's starting hormones or going to see a therapist, or going out for the first time in a dress or, chest shirtless for our trans men. There's gender euphoria across the board, and it is beautiful to see. Just bits and pieces of life that just bring them joy. And gender euphoria is that feeling where, for me, you get moments, sometimes days or even stretches of a week, where your insides match your outside. And it just makes you smile or feel all happy. Like, what is this feeling? Burning like a flame. I just can't contain, but it's not loathing. It's just feeling incredibly happy. Some moments I'll catch myself in the mirror now and just burst out smiling. I feel life differently, and that in itself makes me happy. And I've had my own milestones I've shared with you all, such as being cast as people I've identified so strongly with, Marsha P. Johnson, last year, and this year being cast in my friend Robert's online reading of his incredible play, as someone, being cast as someone whose experiences reflect my own. God, that was so powerful in so many intersectionally ways. And then also milestones of being cast as a cisgendered role in a reading a couple of weeks ago. I mean, interacting with people right now as it is different because it feels like I'm carrying around so much less baggage, which Also, being cast in roles that I identify with as gender, it feels less like acting, because that's what being my previous gender felt like, was a lot of acting constantly. Until I started giving zero fucks. Only time I'm going to use that. I've got one strike now. Anyways, that's some of the happy aspects of transitioning. And I don't say this to minimize transitioning, but in some ways, we should all be transitioning. Like, number one, life is about constant change, and we've transitioned from childhood to adolescence to young adulthood to being a parent to new jobs to being older, taking care of our parents, and then eventually our own old age and dealing with the final transition. What transgender people go through is a process of self-realization and self-actualization, and it's just incredibly visible. And this is why this post goes hand in hand with mental health professionals, because it's very recommended you try self-actualization and self-realization with a therapist. Because finding ways to be your most authentic self takes hard work, and it usually requires a lot of support. And once you start living authentically, you shine. You shine, and they shine, and you see people shining, and some who aren't shining as brightly, and you want to walk up to them and ask, what does it take? What can I do to help you shine? Got on a little roll there, didn't I? As always, I'm excited to hear and share stories of happiness. How is your experience transitioning? What are some of the differences you've noticed in moods, interactions, moments of joy, moments of zen? Or, for those of you who are not trans, what makes you shine and feel authentic? And also, what can I do to help you shine? I think that's all I got for today. Just a quick little message. I don't know how long I've been talking, but there's lipstick on my cup. As always, keep bringing the lightness to being. I love you all.